friends, welcome to the learning series taught by ISM India. The very first session, we are going to focus on category management. Now, when we talk of category management, let's try to understand what exactly is category and what is management. When we talk of a category, it's nothing but the grouping of items which have common characteristics. So if you're making any procurement deal and you combine all these items together, obviously the size becomes bigger, you're able to get a volume leverage. When we talk of the word management, we are trying to use the best technology, best tools of procurement to attain, we could call the value. So in short, if I had to say around the category management, the focus is to gain value. Value mean at both angles, not only the bottom line. I mean, procurement has traditionally been focusing on as a support function just to cut down the save some money, save the cost, and look at the bottom line. But when we move to the category management, we are focusing on both the bottom line. Yes, it's very important, but the top line also. Are we contributing to increase the revenue? So with that in focus, let me walk through with you guys. If you look at the trends of procurement over the last 20 years, started from focusing on price. And the story of procurement dates back to 5,000 years back when the Rome was built, 3,000 years back when the pyramids were built. So the story revolves around a purchasing procurement over the years. But in the last 20 years, the major transformation has happened. Focus was initially on price. All the ideas came how to cut the price. Then we moved to the cost management. The next evolution came at the end of 80s, beginning of 90s, strategic sourcing. I know many of you have already switched over to strategic sourcing, source to contract, which you use, and then P2P. Then the next evolution which has happened is a category management, which has come basically from retail section. It was very popular for the retail initially. Then our procurement people said, guys, why can't we make category of item in a particular deal so that our volumes are bigger and we can get a better discount, better pricing. And then the next focus is all about value. Category management also focuses on value. It is not only on a one unit, it is looking at the enterprise level. So when we look at the story of tactical to category level, so we have moved from just being a reactive function. We're becoming a strategic partner. So we are not only adding and supporting the strategy part at the business level, we are also helping them to make it better. Cost saving centers to growth partners, we are growth partners because they're also looking at the increase in revenue. So in looking at these factors, when we are helping the revenue part, we're also helping the bottom line. It'll be nicer to call procurement as a supply manager. And the focus is also on efficiency and effectiveness of procurement function. So let's look at the whole bigger picture of starting from purchasing good old days to now focusing on that. What exactly we are. If you look historically, purchasing focuses all the time in 5 hours. Many of those who read the old books in 70s, 80s, we focus on 5 hours. Right price, right quantity, right delivery, right cost plan. But now, and the focus in those days was basically cost reducer. If you can see under purchasing, when I say somebody is in a purchasing function, the bottom line is cost reduction, negotiations. That's a key skill required now. Then we have moved into the strategic sourcing in the beginning of 90s. Then we said, guys, okay, now we're looking at the strategic sourcing and the focus is obviously reduction is one. Then we're strategizing the procurement. I'm making long-term agreements around, not dealing case by case, unit by unit. So it became very strategic. But now we are moving into the value part where the category management is a major one. So if you look at the bottom line under the strategic sourcing, procurement, supporting business strategy. Some companies, they say, guys, procurement is only to take care of cost reduction. Now they say, guys, okay, since you are supporting a lot way in making the production, and if I look around any auto company, 70 to 80% of their parts are coming from outside. Pharma company, 60%. In many companies, if I talk of iPhone, 100% from outside. So in short, you are not only supporting the strategic sourcing, you are influencing the strategic sourcing. So it's becoming the complete game changer. So when we talk of category management, let me again summarize this word around, is a structured approach to procurement of goods and services. Keep in mind, it's a data-driven and proactive approach. Develop and implement sourcing and supply management activities. Last but not the least, I would say it's a robust, structured, strategic sourcing process, because evolution from strategic sourcing to category management. Strategic sourcing, I was looking at a very small unit level, business unit level. Now I'm looking at the enterprise level. So it's evolution from there. On top of it, I'm involving the local stakeholders. So it's becoming collaborative mindset. So if I have to summarize the earlier slides around, traditionally the procurement was like this, like a typical pyramid. O was the major ones. If I got 100 people working in procurement, 70 people are working on O function, the firefighting function, pushing up, operation function. And the next was T. So if I look around T plus O, 80% of my transaction activities are based on this. It's a very labor-intensive procurement, paper-intensive. And now S was a very smart part. And this is what I'm calling as ugly duck. And this ugly duck needs to be reversed around. So O means the way I could have mundane function, I have routine function, which could be automated. So when I'm automating O, then many of the people move to S, who will be doing the strategic function. Tactical may remain same. So in short, I would say the turnaround would be 80% of my energy will go into the S function, maybe 20%, 25% will be left in O and T around. Now, another thing which I said in the beginning was the category management we're talking about, mindset is different, involving the stakeholders, collaborative mindset. When we talk of a collaborative mindset, in a simple word, you can say cross-functional activity around. So if you look at all these headings, leverage the buying power, leverage the product change, optimize the process. Procurement people can't do in silos. To do all these things around, they need to work in a very cross-functional approach. They need to work with the engineering people around, the production people around. So that's how they could come with more savings, more benefits, both at the revenue level as well as at the bottom line level. Now let's understand the framework part of category. Obviously, everything starts from the mission of the company, the business strategy of the company. Now, I convert, if I'm a category head, I know my business strategy, I'll develop my own strategy for my category. In categories, maybe here I've shown only 4, maybe 15, 20 categories. So you may have 20 category heads. Each category head, to my best knowledge, is a mini CEO. And that guy has to look around his own category, how I can bring profitability. How can I increase the revenue part? So, but the tools which are required for the category teams, the very first is strategic sourcing. That we evolved from strategic sourcing to category management. I need also demand management. I need to plan my demands very well. I need to know what the forecasting. I need to know what is going to happen next year. Supplier management, that's a key thing. Contract management is also very important around, and last but not the least is contract optimization. Let me touch a little bit strategic sourcing, because we have evolved from strategic sourcing to category. One of the pillars of strategic sourcing, source to contract, is aimed at making the long-term agreement, again based on spend. And the next pillar is about P2P. So once I've got a long-term agreement, P2P basically ensures compliance with that. Vendor management, maintaining good relationship, SRM. And if some are not doing a good job, getting them out and finding new sources. Category management cycle, which has evolved from strategic sourcing, has got 10 steps. The very first is prioritize the strategy category, profile the category, analyze the market, gather the requirements, formulate strategies, execute strategy, and not last but not the least is implement and contract. The steps which I've explained to you, the very first is analysis, the category profiling is also important around holistic understanding, the market knowledge, TCO philosophy, and ongoing process. It's not a one-line linear path, it's an iterative process. As I said to you, since it's a proactive and data-driven, spend become the very first pillar. And same was for strategic sourcing also. So in spend analysis, we also want to know who is buying, who is supplying us, what are we buying, when we need it out, where do we need it out, and how and all these things are. So when did we buy? All this data once we have, it makes my life easier to make a spend cube. So in spend cube, I have got the cost centers, who is buying what we are buying, commodity, and from whom we are buying, the suppliers part. So once I've got this cube around, I can easily drill down information at different levels in all the 3 dimensions. For any suppliers, for any unit, I could do it out. That information once I've got, and I know the risk as well, I know the impact as well, I'm able to do a better intelligence work. So I've got a market intelligence also. So once I've got the market intelligence, I know potential risk. I also know the impact based on my spend part. So I could divide this whole thing into, based on 80-20 concepts, I could divide into 2x2 matrix. So 80% of my risks are in this zone. 20% of the risks are in this zone. While same with profit impact also. So strategic categories, bottleneck categories. So this chart or this matrix helps me to design my strategies for different activities, for different categories as well. Now in this whole process, negotiation is as important as it was in strategic sourcing. So those steps which are there are equally important. One needs to know around if you want to get the savings down. But next one comes the contract management. I might have done a wonderful negotiations. I might have signed a beautiful contract, but managing the contract is very important. Looking at the performance of the suppliers, looking at the compliance part, looking at the risk part. How do I mitigate my risk? Last but not the least is paying suppliers in right time. So when we're talking of supplier performance, we look at the Meyer part. Are they doing a good job as per my plan? And I monitor them, I report them and manage them. So this is how, when we had come to the category management, going through the broad framework of strategic sourcing and other, as I said to you, about the contract management. So once we have done those, tomorrow's procurement, when we look at category management, the focus on value, 20% of my efforts will go on tactical, and 80% of my information will be going on, my time spent will be on strategy. So the whole thing has turned around. The ugly duck has become much more effective now. So major of my time is going on stakeholder management, relationship with them, strategy development, and execution part to a lot extent has been automated. When I do into this, so technically you need the drivers for transformation. On paper looks wonderful, category management will do this. But who are the people who are behind this? People are very important. Strategy is equally important. Process is very important. And technology is very important. So these are the, when we're doing these changes, overview is, let's try to overview this. That overview in organizations, structure, procurement processes, how they're going to be there, people, the learning skills. What do I need to learn? How do I teach my people around? Train my people around? Strategic sourcing. And last but not the least is technology. So we're talking of e-procurement, we're talking of digital procurement. So we're moving into that direction. Well, finally, my thoughts are strategizing procurement is no longer optional. It's a must. And we all have seen in the last 1 year during COVID pandemic time, at home front also we have changed, office front we have changed. So that means those who are dealing with procurement, they can't be left behind. So strategizing procurement is no longer optional. We have to think of new ways to do it. Well, with this, I want to thank you all and good luck in your transformation journey from tactical to strategy. Take care, my friends. Have a nice day.